trader right now.
Okay. Stream has started.
I mean, I'm almost done. So.
Yeah, I just got it like right before the show.
Well, you're probably directly connected to your Ethernet, right?
Yes.
You're fine. I'm doing this wirelessly from the far side of the house.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the only correct way to do it is to hardwire your gaming PC.
Yeah.
If my son didn't sleep in my office, I would.
Fair enough.
And you drink whatever that is. You drink that. What is that? Margarita?
This?
Yeah, is that a margarita of
no,
sadness?
It's a vodka soda.
Of sadness?
Yes, either way. Okay. You want me to count us in, Adam, so we can start?
Oh shit.
Okay, I'm seeing. Okay, they hear us, so which is more important. So
on YouTube,
okay. Quinn says he hears us.
Perfect.
Yes, on the YouTubes.
All right, ready?
On the tube that is the internet. No, but yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Never.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're on.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TFG Radio, 40K from the judge's perspective. Tonight is a very special night. Not really. Yeah, I mean it is for a lot of people. You have myself, Adam, host of the show. Tonight we have John on the Wheels of Steel.
Hello.
You're gonna wait and see how long I was gonna wait?
No, there was a weird binging sound. I'm pretty sure it just came through on the stream audio.
On your end.
It's okay. It won't come through on the recording for the podcast, which is important.
Okay. We also have Danny painting little Tyranids, baby Tyranids. And tonight we have Tom.
Hello.
So we have both John and Tom on tonight. Tonight is the day of reckoning in regards to who goes on the most shows. Reckoning. Desecration. My new buzzword for today. So, a couple things for today. This episode it is for the what are we doing? Oh, for LVO. But before we
for
do
that giant event that comes in like a month.
Before we do that, it's 5 weeks. We did have a discussion earlier in the month and earlier this year regarding who has shown up for the most shows between John and Tom, because John has been missing a number of shows this year, surprisingly.
Whatever.
So I took a quick count.
Mm-hmm.
Counting today, we have 22 episodes. John was in 16 of them, which means he only missed 6. And Tom was only in 10 of them, which means he missed 12.
Hey, he made double digits on both accounts. Look at that. How many was I on?
Which I believe is double 2 years ago when Tom threw down that gauntlet that he was on more than 5 times on the show. That 1 year.
Look, I'm telling you, Tom, the key is to not care.
I mean, I just got a lot of shit going on.
Because Adam was like, "Oh, you're in the running for not being on as many shows as Tom," and I was like, "Okay."
And
whatever.
Tom's a lot of shit going on translates into a lot of kids. So
it's fine.
Stop having kids, Tom.
Yeah.
Stop at 6.
The way it goes.
So 6 to 12. I will give Tom some extra credit because Tom had to cover for John while he was out for each time, which actually brings the total to 12 to 12. So it's a draw.
Cool.
In my mind.
Sounds great.
So there you go.
Peerless victory.
Yeah. As a 40K judge, I just love draws.
I am very happy being a minimum champion.
Did you count how many I was
Minimum
on?
champion.
Danny was on
how many was Danny?
99.9%. He's only missed 1, I think, or maybe 2.
Yeah, he's a trooper.
Maybe
And he made up for that by doing a bonus episode twice. And a
true.
rant.
No, he made up for it by showing up when neither one of you showed up.
Whatever.
To be fair, that was the very beginning of this podcast, was it not? Danny being
two
there for
people?
you.
That was the way it
Saying,
started.
Here, Adam, come here. Just let me hold you and let me hold you, talk you through this, guide you.
It's true. I believe that's true.
You have a very different memory from it than I do. Then
You remember Budapest very differently.
nice.
I understood that reference.
Yeah, it's a good reference.
Oh God, that's a double right there.
Yeah, it is. Is that what we call a double entendre? I don't think so, right?
No,
That doesn't count.
no.
No, that's when you help your uncle jack off a horse, or you help your uncle jack off a horse.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a good one.
That took a that took a turn that I was not expecting.
But, you
Oh
know,
my God.
Man, goodness.
Wow. I'm so glad Tom is with us today.
the truth is the truth. I mean, what do you want from us? We're simple men, Adam.
What can Adam do against such reckless hate?
Nothing. I like it.
Wow, coats are hard and heavy today. I'll read this. So we have about like John mentioned, we just have a little over the month away before LVO. It is the weekend of, I believe, the 18th through the 20th. So it's a week earlier than last year, or this year, or last LVO.
Mm-hmm.
So a few dates to keep in mind. The packet did come out earlier this week or last week, and a lot of the information we're going to talk about is on the packet. So be sure to check out the packet, which I'll put a link in the description of the YouTube channel
And the show notes.
in the description. And sure, why not? It's all the same.
Yeah.
And I already put all the links for the different rules queries forms, the answers, the model approval form, the where to find the answers for that, things of that nature. So
Man, we still have to do all that stuff?
That's
That's crazy.
it's not too bad so far. The model part isn't as bad as it's been in the past. So it's not this.
People can't just
But
show
we're
up with their
almost-
stuff and play? This is ridiculous. I thought this was
I
America.
mean, you can, but you run the risk of the model.
I thought it was America.
So just a few quick reminders. First off, the rules cutoff will be January 11th, which I believe is a Thursday. It's basically a week before the event, and then the lists are due on the 12th.
I'm from the future. It's tomorrow, people. Submit it now.
And then the list will be unlocked that following Monday. Just a reminder: if you don't get your list uploaded by then, it is a yellow card infraction. So you don't want to start the tournament with a yellow card.
Or do you?
For the most part,
Be a man.
for the most part, don't encourage that. For the most part,
I don't know what you're
it
talking
doesn't really matter. Most people are usually pretty chill during the course of a tournament. Rarely comes into play, but it's just something you don't want just in case, because people get passionate about their tournaments sometimes.
Yeah. I take umbrage of the fact that you say I encourage things.
You encourage a lot of things.
I don't encourage nothing.
Say,
I'm but a
John draws the
humble
line at the idea
meme
of
miner.
encouragement.
What was that, Danny?
I said, ask John's children. He's relatively against the idea of encouragement.
Oh,
Damn.
man. I mean, yeah, sort of.
Wait, is John my dad?
Jesus.
I'm not a boomer. just raised by them.
You just sound one.
I've always aspired
Um,
to boomer levels of incompetency and hate.
wow.
Whatever.
So all that information is in the packet. Just a reminder. In addition, like I said, there's the links for the rules. If you have any questions for rules, things like that, that's not covered by the GW FAQ,
Don't ask.
you can send us. You can send it. There's a form to fill out. That's also linked in the player packet. If there's also a link in the show notes and description of this episode. Same with the answers for those rules, for the most part. Same thing with the model. So if you're using 3D printed or you have a conversion that's not obvious, make sure to fill out that form and send it in, and we'll get it answered I'm going to try to get them all answered by Monday. There's not a lot for right now, but going by past LVOs. But the closer we get to the event, the more questions we get and more model approval requests we get. So we'll try to get to them as quickly as possible, as humanly possible. If you also look on the player packet, there is the schedule, which is very important. Danny is in charge of the paint judging, as always, and as you can tell, because he's painting right now. And painting, the paint judging is gonna from 8 to 9:45 on Friday, and then from 9 to 9 or 8 to 8:45 on Saturday, and that's the only time you get paint judged. And then on Sunday, I believe, is the showcase, but I don't think we've decided yet, or I don't think you've decided, Danny. I think Sunday's the showcase because that's when we decide the winners.
Yeah, Sunday showcase.
And how does that work, Danny? I guess if you went to SoCal, you have an idea, or the ACO.
Yeah. So the way it's going to play out is that everyone who made showcase, which is generally top 10, although depending on the field, we might even expand it to top 15 or something, but generally it's going to be the top 10, the people in contention for winning the whole shebang-a-bang. All their armies will be displayed for everybody to see, unless they're, playing in the champs. In which case, we will make some kind of arrangement for that. But everyone's welcome to come check them out. The paint judges, the head paint judges, and our celebrity guest judge, who is actually going to be making the final kind of decision. We will be looking through them, obviously talking to each other, and that's when we kind of figure out the best in show and all that kind of stuff. But it gives everyone a chance to really look and see kind of the pinnacle of the hobby. So if you're not playing in the champs, or he didn't make the top 8, it's really worth your time just even taking 10 minutes and just looking at like some, which I promise you will be some incredibly stunning armies. So I think hopefully will help build the visibility of the work that people do, since usually we did the top 10 during the shadow round, and that was in some ways very helpful because it was quiet, we could really talk, and it also kind of squirreled everyone away, especially again, the best armies in the field, and a lot of people don't get to see them that way, so we want to make sure that hobby has a bigger footprint in the event, and we obviously want the Las Vegas Open to be a premier hobby event as much as it is a premier competitive event.
Okay. Yeah, and then also as a reminder.
Real quick, sorry.
Oh, okay.
As a reminder, when you come get paint judge, please don't just put your army down and walk away. If you do walk away, make sure your name is there, right? Very legible. We will have little slips that after you've been judged, you'll be given a little slip next to your army saying, hey, I've been judged because it's only, an hour and 45 minutes on Friday and then another 45 minutes on Saturday. Please stay by your army, because once it's judged, please pack up and make room, because chances are people are going to, again, there's going to be a decent amount of people who want to do it. So, don't just park your army somewhere on a table and leave, right? Please don't. And if the round starts and you don't have one of those little slips, you need to make sure oh, I didn't get paint judged, and make sure you come Saturday for that. Or if it happens on Saturday and you really, really want to be paint judge, make sure you flag me down, or, like Jacob there, to let us know, hey, I really want to be paint judge, I'm sorry. I didn't make it for whatever reason. And, depending on how busy we are and the goodness of our hearts, maybe we'll help out. But, that's very much going to be an exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
If it's Friday, you can still get paint judged. If it's Saturday and you're in round 5 or 6, I would be hesitant to do it, mainly because.
Yeah, no, I'm talking it's round 4, and you're oh, I haven't been paint judged. I didn't
oh yeah, that's.
Oh no, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
5 or 6 is
too.
Yeah.
But if
5 or 6
after lunch, I'm done, because we have to sit there and figure out showcase.
Well, that plus by that point, a lot of people might realize, I might be in the running for, Paragon, maybe I should get a judge finally instead of doing what everyone else did. So that kind of thing is what I hope to avoid. But yeah, just try to get your army judged in the time allotted. We do have a number of judges that will be doing the paint judging, so we should hopefully get through it pretty quickly. Danny mentioned the shadow round. We'll talk about it now. If you look at the schedule for the on the packet, the missions are already there, so you'll already know what missions we'll be playing, as well as when lunches and breaks and all that other stuff. If you look at day 2, which is Saturday, you'll notice that it says top 16 cut. So this year we are no longer doing the shadow round. It's now going to be an official round, and it's going to be the top 16. So during round 6, my suggestion, and we've always suggested this every year, is that as you're playing, if you think you might make the cut, hopefully you have your friends there. Hopefully you have friends that can help get you some food, because there's only a half hour in between the round 6 and the top 16 cut. So make sure you guys get something to eat if you feel like you might make it into that top 16, because you're not going to have time to go get something, because most of the food at the Rio is literally on the other side of the casino. Right? Well, most of the better food.
Well, it depends. If the Guy Fieri's taco place is open, that's not a big deal. Right. And that other place, place is in the middle there. It's fine.
That hash place, that breakfast place.
Yeah.
They're not going to be open.
They need to be open all day. And then the giant Starbucks instead of the tiny Starbucks. If they would open the actual regular size Starbucks instead of like, hey everybody, go to the Starbucks kiosk spot, that would also be fine.
Well, let's just hedge our bets. How about that? And just have your buddies get you.
I'm not hedging anything. I'm not in charge.
Well, you also don't have to worry about getting food, because you can get food whenever you want, because you're not playing.
It's true.
But yeah, so
eating is for the weak.
I mean, eating is for the weak.
Yes.
That's our slogan for top 16.
Yes.
For that round.
Yes.
And like I said, so all the missions have already been chosen. If you look at the packet, along with the times.
We should go back to random. Everybody does their own, rolls up their own. Wild
Everybody
West.
does their own.
Everybody roll your own mission up.
God.
See what happens, guys.
We should go back to the old ITC where you had where it was the shorthand mission deck.
Yeah. You mean back when competitive Warhammer 40K actually became a thing?
Yes.
Yeah, we should go back to that. That was good.
I mean, we're almost back at that now with the mission deck, with the Leviathan deck.
Totally random missions. Every table plays something different. So when I walk up as a judge, I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
So normal for you?
No, I know what's going on all the time. I'm entirely lucid at all times. My covert skills are honed.
Yeah, so just pay attention to the times, because the start times between Friday and Saturday and Sunday are different. They're actually earlier on Saturday and Sunday.
What?
And then the start time's a little later on Friday. We need to get all these people paint judged.
Look, man, last year we had same start times every day, because that's what the people wanted.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did. Yes. You all shake your heads no, but I was the head judge last year.
Yeah, that's why you don't know. This is the actual schedule, the same schedule we used last year.
No,
John.
It's not. We had the same start time.
Mr. Lucid.
We had the same start time every day last year.
No, we did not.
I don't know. We'll just have to see.
All right, whatever. You believe whatever you want.
I will.
Mr. Lucid.
This is a post-2016 America. I can believe whatever I want.
Jesus.
I am entitled to my own facts.
Oh my God. Yes. You're entitled to your own FAQ.
That's right. I'm going to walk up to the table. I'm going to put the FAQ down. It's going to say John's FAQ at the top and be like, according to this, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I hear post 2016 America, I just always think back to the theory that the three guardians of the earth were Harambe, Prince, and Bowie. And ever since we've lost them, nothing has made sense anymore. They were the guardians of the timeline. And we
Look,
didn't-
man, I'm not going to say you're right or wrong, but you and I think alike. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. That's scary.
That sounds like you're saying I'm right, but with extra steps.
Because I will never admit such. It would hurt my soul too much.
Oh my god. Also, just a quick reminder: if you're playing in the Friday or Sunday Sunday RTT, it is a single elimination format, so you're one and done if you lose, and the missions are the same missions as the champs for that day. So on Friday you'll be playing the same missions as rounds 1, 2, 3, and on Sunday you'll be playing the same missions as the finals, the top 8, throughout that day. So, just a quick reminder. You don't need a list. People have asked me about turning in a list for the RTTs. You do not need a list for RTTs or to turn one in. You do need to send in a list to the TOs if you're playing in the friendly, just so he can double check and make sure no tryhards are trying hard in the friendly. So good luck with that. Also, the terrain, make sure to look at the terrain guidelines. If you played at SoCal Open, I believe they're still similar. More importantly, they show which terrain sets are going to be used, and as we get more information on which terrain sets will be available, they'll add those into the player packet. So make sure you check the player packet once in a while before LVO. They also list the deployment zones set up for the different deployments. And it depends on which deployment you're using. The center line is different from each side, so just make a note of that. In all honesty, if both players agree to deploy the terrain a certain way, then that's fine too. If you saw the announcement today, Frontline unveiled some new dice that they, I guess they're calling it achievement dice, similar to achievements in games. And what you basically do is if you qualify for any things, it's at the judge's discretion, not desecration. And the judge will hand out these dice to you, and you can earn it more than once. So
I was a fan of that typo. They should have kept it.
they look pretty
Sounds like
cool.
participation ribbons to me.
That's
They
why
kinda-
desecration
I mean-
was better.
I mean, I kind of like the dice the way they look. So just to go over, and we and FLG may add more as the year progresses. So they may add more types of dice you can achieve over the course of the year. So there's Indomitable, which is basically, I guess it's staying for the whole tournament.
Cool.
I mean,
It says win or lose, but I'd be more impressed if someone lost all their games and still played all six or all.
Yeah.
So
I mean that actually, I feel like that earns you a pair of dice. I mean,
It's win or
seriously.
loses,
you
and
only
like
get-
no matter what, whether you have a winning record or losing record, you get it if you play all your games.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
all.
but
Absolutely.
I mean, I know what it means. I just.
Well, you seemed confused,
I-
old man.
No, I'm not confused. I am, because my confusion is, of course, I'm going to stay if I'm winning. Why wouldn't I stay? That's my confusion.
Alan
I don't know.
enters
It's at
the
my
chat.
desecration, so I'll just give it. I'll probably give if I'm handing them out, I'll give it to the one who sticks it out, being 0-6.
Fair enough.
Or
Adam,
1-5.
the answer to your question is Alan enters the chat.
Nah.
So he's
No,
gonna
because
get
he'll
one for
always.
being
Oh, I
0-6.
lost the game, so I'm done. I'm not complaining more.
No, but that's my point. He's someone who would like be 4-0 and be like, I'm done.
Right.
Well, then he doesn't get the he doesn't get the achievement.
I don't know if he cared
But I know
about the
what you're
dice.
The next one is, which is the most hilarious one, is Young Gun, which is basically if you're under 18. So we're out. Everyone in this podcast is out.
Be under
I
18.
mean, if I
Cool,
shave, I
thanks.
might pass.
I don't know if you can
Participants
pass
under
anymore,
18.
even if you shave.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
I've got too much bag under the eyes, and
You've seen too much.
I've seen
That's how come you can't pass for 18.
Join the club.
You look like you've seen too much.
it's too much.
So, I don't know. That one will be hard to get. And then there's so that one's under 18. Skilled painter is basically for having a nice looking army. Doesn't really need to. And these are in my opinion as the judge handing them out. Skilled painter doesn't necessarily have to go to only the top painters. Like if they make the cut for the showcase, the other people will get that same award because it may not look as good as some of the other ones, but an army might still look pretty good. So. Another one is Fluff Bunny. For those that don't know, Fluff is basically the background of the game.
Yeah, don't show up in your furry costume thinking you're going to get this.
There's a cosplay contest at LVO this year.
Yeah, but if you play a game in your furry Space Wolf outfit, that doesn't get you the Fluff Bunny dice. But you could go into the cosplay, which is probably more your realm and speed anyways.
So Fluff Bunny is basically your army is in theme with the army, so it's not just min-maxed or
John, what if someone shows up with an Astra Militarum army that's completely converted to look like beastmen and they're dressed up like a beastman?
No. That's not fluffy.
Pretty fluffy.
Nope.
If you're talking about Rogue Trader era Imperial Guard, then yes, it is fluffy.
I'm not talking about anything Rogue Trader, nothing. Because if they had that, then they can't win the Young Guns.
Meanwhile, my dumbass was like, "There's beastmen in the game? I haven't seen them yet."
Meh.
Oh my god, someone's not paying attention.
Who are you?
Can you go back to Missing More Days, Tom? Then the last one is Good Human, and that's basically almost. I would basically just be good sport, basically. The description is an amazing sport and an all-around joy to play. For me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, in order to give that out, I would either have to witness it, or someone would have to come to me. This has happened where people will come to me and want to compliment their opponent. And at the time, I didn't have anything to give them except a hearty handshake and a pat on the back. Well, now I can give them this die with a happy face on it. So, there you go. So those are the initial 5 categories. I'm really going to say 4 because one of those is practically impossible for like 99.9% of the population. And the one I'm talking about is Good Human. But so we'll have to see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I imagine myself having like those that change belt where I just click it and it hands out change in order to hand out these dice, because it's a lot of dice, especially for things like Good Human or Fluff Bunny or even Skilled Painter. I may have to have a belt with like the dice in different bags, just almost like a trainer at like SeaWorld or something, where I have the little.
Nice.
You just reach in and be like, "Here, you want your snack? Here's your snack."
Yes, that's basically it.
Hey, buddy.
Here's your reward. Here's your reward for being a good human.
Or not.
Being incentivized to be a good human. There's no bad human achievement.
I could. What is it? I already know. What's that satirical Facebook dude who'd post those like Warhammer news articles? Inquirer.
Tabletop Inquirer?
Yeah, I already see that one of his post LVO articles is going to be, unsurprisingly, only one of the Good Human dice was handed out, and it was the judge giving it to himself.
For having to put up with everybody?
Yeah.
Adam would totally give it to himself, too.
If that guy ever hears it,
I'm going to have a whole set. Because I'm a
that
great
guy ever
human.
hears this joke, he can take it.
Oh my god. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm curious. I mean, I think that's a good idea. People like tchotchkes.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. It's cool, very cool.
So I like the dice. I like the look of the dice. So So I'm looking forward to it. I'm just curious how many we're gonna give out at LVO, and this is for every event, every frontline event. So it'll be LVO, ACO, Cherokee, everything, Rocky Mountain, all the events. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think
They should give you a certain number of dice based on ratio of players. Like you get one set for every 50 players.
I can only give out one good human, one for every
50 players.
Every
Yeah.
100,
Yes.
100 players.
Yes, indeed. That is what it should be.
Well, we'll see. We'll have to see what we'll see how it goes. This will be a good test, especially with all these people.
I'm sure it'll be great. It sounds like a cool idea.
How and apparently only the head judge will be handing them out. So.
Even better. No responsibility for me.
I'll delegate. I'll give it to you, John.
Nope.
You can do it.
I will disappear. I'll
I'll
do what
point
the other judges do and just say, sorry, I'm going on my lunch break. I got smoke.
Wow. I have to call out Danny like that.
My union break. Excuse me. Not smoking. I'm on a union break.
Your union break. Hey, haven't you heard? Those Vegas hotels aren't big on the unions, bro.
And then they can take it up with my union rep.
So let me see where we're at. Okay, so that's the dice. I think it's something that people will like, and I think it's something that other events can easily copy because they're either cheaper than to make than coins. And because I've seen some events try to do the coins, but I haven't seen it catch on with a lot of other events. But I think dice is something a lot of events can do, so they might do something similar. And it's Baron of Dice making the dice, so I know John's a big fan of Baron of Dice.
Yeah, I've gotten several sets of their dice. Their dice are awesome.
Stupid night dice. So and Tom, I think Tom has Alpha Legion dice. I think.
I do. They're awesome.
So.
Yeah,
It's good
Baron of
quality
Dice is
stuff.
like the best dice store. Period. If you're looking for like the dice with the cool logos and stuff, especially when it's themed to the army or themed to something in the universe, hands down Baron of Dice, because they got the Sigmar dice too. Everything, they got everything.
Yeah. Pretty nice. So yeah, so you know they're quality dice, and like I said, they look good. So we talked about the shadow round. We talked reminder for the paint judging. Just a reminder that it will be active judging. I know there's a few tournaments that do not do active judging, but we try to do it as much as we can, and that basically means if we see something, we may correct the player.
No active judging,
We'll
cowards.
We'll try to correct the player and or whether it's a rules or clock or whatever, we'll try to. So, and I mean, in all honesty, some judges are more comfortable with it than others. So
We will give it the old college try.
oh my god. Speaking of judging, if you were at SoCal Open, you noticed that there were business cards on each of the tables, and there was a QR code to request a judge to your table. It seemed to work fairly well. The only issue we had was that I was the only one that had access to the text message, so I was the one for the most part running around. If I was near Danny, I would ask Danny to go to certain tables, but it seemed to work fairly well. People seemed to like it. I mean, it is on a much larger scale for LVO. And we only got one basically practice run with it, but it seemed to work fairly well. So I believe they're going to have the business cards on there again, and they'll be on the table number with the table numbers. Just a reminder to just give us your table number. Do not ask a question using the QR code. We will not answer it. What we will do is come to your table.
My opponent
And if you
says I'm
don't-
wrong. Is he right or am I?
Yes.
Yes.
Answer hazy. Ask again later. Also, if you do decide to yell out judge instead of using the QR code, be sure to raise your hand so we could see it, and keep your hand up. Keep it up until a judge sees you and acknowledges that he's coming to your table. Because a lot of times what ends up happening, you yell out judge, raise your hand, and then quickly put it down, thinking the judge saw you. And we probably didn't.
And indeed, I did not.
So make sure to keep your hand raised, and just to make eye contact with the judge, or try to make contact with the judge. We'll have a number of judges we'll have more than judges than last year, so we should be able to cover more ground. So, and the table should be more centrally located. Then usually it's towards the front, but I think we're going to try to put it more towards the center area, so we can get to more places easier. So this is all speculative because I don't know where we'll actually end up. So yeah, just a reminder, both on the QR code and raising your hand and keeping it raised. Also, a quick reminder when scoring your matches, if we do tell you that to end the game at whatever turn you're on, whether it's 3, 4, ideally 4 or 5, you score that last turn as if it was turn 5, so it doesn't punish the player going second. That's the main reason for it. So be sure to remember that, and we'll remind everybody as we go along. If you do need help scoring, just ask a judge. I'm sure John will be more than happy to help everybody on doing their math.
Yeah, sure.
And making sure they're doing it correctly.
Yeah, sure.
So,
whatever you guys say.
So yeah, and please, if you're using a chess clock, you are first off, only if one person wants to use the chess clock, you guys are using the chess clock, whether the other person wants to or not. That's so. Second is that if you're using a chess clock, use the chess clock. Don't use it and then decide, well, now we don't need to use it, because then all it does is lead to trouble, especially if one person runs out of time. So if you both are using the chess clock, you got to agree to the rules of the chess clock. You can find those rules in the FLG Code of Conduct. And as a reminder, we do have the Code of Conduct. 2 strikes and you're out. So 2 yellows equal red, and you can get an auto red. And there's a list of examples of what constitutes a yellow card, and examples of different possible penalties for getting that yellow or red card. So everybody be nice. All right, we're gonna have a good time. We're in Vegas, so everyone should have a good time. Right, John?
It's true. It's true.
Right, Danny?
I certainly plan to. I don't know about anybody else, but
I don't care if everybody else has a good time as long as I do.
It's true. That's
I
also
won't
true.
ask Tom because Tom won't be there.
Nope.
I mean, but I agree with the principle of it.
It's fair.
Yeah, so we've had this in the past, so and it doesn't affect me too much. It's just like, come on, guy, you're in Vegas. You don't need to be like this. It's really what it comes down to. So just remember, only one person can win, and it's most likely not going to be you. So
That's true.
just enjoy the ride.
You are more than likely not going to win.
If you are going to be there, make sure to say hi. If you're listening to this show, you've probably listened for a while. Or if you haven't, hello, welcome. And be sure to say hi to myself, John, Danny. We don't bite, at least not in public.
You got to pay extra for that.
Well, it is Vegas. So, yeah, so be sure to say hi. We're more than happy to talk shop, talk about whatever. Talk about Danny's latest rants. I can tell a story or two. So, it should be fun. I believe that was it for the reminders for LVO. I don't think there's anything else. We'll talk about it again at the next episode in January, which will be our next episode, and which will be the episode right before LVO. I think it's like 2 weeks before LVO or a week before LVO. So we'll put out reminders again about that. So that's LVO. I don't see any other questions in the chat. I will try to have the model approvals all done up to date by Monday. Same with any rules questions that we receive. I'll try to have it all up to date and organized by Monday. We don't know when GW is coming out with their balanced data slate, which is why we put the cutoff date so late. And when it does come out is when we'll decide whether to use it or not, or use the points at least. I don't know how much of the balanced data slate they'll change for armies, but we'll find out when it does come out. So I mean, it could come out after LVO for all we know, but if it comes out before, especially with the points updates, we'll decide whether to utilize them or not, because I know a lot of people have a set list, and we'll have to discuss how much we'll change that list if it comes out before the cutoff date. But I believe that is it for LVO. I know that there was another preview since our last episode, which I find hilarious because there's practically a preview every week now. But it was Black Library, so I don't know if. I mean, there was nothing in it that really stood out to me. I don't remember now. But
at 3, don't care.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't that. So it was like, okay, here's a bunch of books. Cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me look really quick. It was a more involved book. The Art of the Horus Heresy, which is like the 100th book about the art of the Horus Heresy. So, because in the what was it called? Visions of Heresy, I think it was, which was the art book for the card game, the Horus Heresy card game from way back when. A bookmark. Another book. Oh yeah, there's like nothing. I do recommend, because I just finished it. Is the book Gene Father, which highlights Fabius Bile and Belisarius' Call. If you haven't read it, I enjoyed it.
During the Heresy or in 40K?
No, in 40K.
Cool.
It's pretty good. I liked it. I can't say nothing because Tom will get mad at me. So
This is true. The Black Library reveal that I'm excited about is Ahriman and Dying. It also reminded me that I'm pretty sure I haven't read the last one, which was Ahriman Eternal.
Yeah.
But I distinctly remember the first Ahriman book, and it's very good. And I thought I read more of it, but I'll have to go back and double check how much I've cleared of that series.
Are those books just about him turning all of the Thousand Suns into dust?
No, it's post that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's all post.
It's pre 40K, post Heresy, post Rubric, and he basically is just like, he gives up on the warp power. Like, the book basically starts with him he's just a chump space marine, part of a chaos war band, and the war band is led by a wannabe chaos sorcerer who Ahriman keeps mentally criticizing. That's not how you use the warp. That's not how you use the warp. He's not saying anything.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, because he basically is insanely depressed, and then he's like, and then throughout the book he has this moment of inspiration where he's like, I'm gonna go back in time and stop any of this from ever happening. Like in Family Guy. But
I did enjoy it.
Or the Avengers.
Or the Avengers. But actually, I think that book came out before the Avengers.
Also, they don't go back to stop it from happening. They go back to get a thing to.
Yes, to stop the other thing.
Yeah.
That happened.
And I don't think
to
he
get
actually
the ultimate redo.
I don't think he's even trying to go back in time. I was just kind of saying that. I think that's where he gets the idea to go to the Black Library.
Oh. I did enjoy his part in the latest book, the
Yeah.
End of Death.
It was good.
It was excellent.
Yeah, but I recommend Gene Father. I need Tom to hurry up and read it so we can talk about it because there's some. Hurry up! You should be done by now.
Rogue Trader.
There is that. Tom has been roping all of us into playing Rogue Trader, although we probably would have played it anyway.
I'm just roping you into playing it sooner, so I can talk to you about it.
Yes, once I do.
I mean, I'm sorry. There's only so many power hungry options or just pure chaos options that I see as role-playing options, and I'm like, Adam needs to play this because I just want to see how horrible he could delve into this character, and then I want to hear what he figures out happens in the story. Plus, it's actually it's pretty good. It's not like Baldur's Gate 3 where they really make it like anybody can jump in. It's a little more mathy, but it's great. I mean, in terms of atmosphere, in terms of playing it, once you figure out how the abilities work and you can figure out combos, it's fun. I really enjoy it, and it's so grimdark. Some of the things you can choose to do or that just happen, my goodness.
Well, I'll let you know. I'm downloading it after this show.
I downloaded it before the show, but I haven't played it yet. We'll see.
What else? Well, I got more Little Men, so I'm still building a bunch of stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, Danny's painting his little Tyranids because he wants to play Tyranids no matter what.
They're World Eater nids. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Whatever.
Nobody cares.
I care, John. I care.
It's not a serious game. It's fine.
You're gonna have a hard time finding someone to play then, dog.
Yeah.
I can play with. Well, there's only 2 other people that play in our group in our team chat. And I don't think they live close by. But yeah, so I put a bunch of the models together. I did talk to the guys about how much bigger the scale is. I knew that it was bigger, but I didn't realize it was like twice as big as the old stuff. So kind of cool, but at the same time, it's like, but I have all this old stuff. So thanks, GW. But I think. But I don't think there's anything else. Usually around this time of year, leading up to LVO, it's kind of a dead period for us because we're too busy doing LVO stuff in winter and holidays, which is usually why we take a break.
Yes.
But since it is the last show of the episode, I guess we can talk about the year in review. John?
Yeah.
How was your 40K year? I'm just going to talk about your 40K year. Not
Sure.
your personal year.
It was good. I judged Tacoma for GW, and I took pity and went to 1 GT and played 3 rounds with Eldar, lost all 3 rounds, and successfully made sure that the next FAQ would not affect Eldar with my poor showing.
Nice.
I don't know.
They
10th
take
is
a full
fine.
team.
10th is not my favorite edition, but it's also not my least favorite edition, so it's fine.
Tom, you've probably played the most games out of all of us between you and Danny.
Yeah, which is
Mainly
shocker.
because
I
you
feel
play against Danny.
That's true. We do play each other a lot. I think, yeah, and I think it's funny too because last year I was probably the other side of that fence where I played the least. Like either last year or the year before. I've been liking it a lot. Leading up to the edition change, I was really trying to play into Space Marines, and then then I was playing Space Marines post edition change, and I was like really trying to make it work, and I just wasn't vibing with it. I never professed to be very good at this game, but I at least like it when I can click with an army and feel like I have some agency, or that I'm at least doing something relatively smart, as opposed to just, and my Marines are all dead again. And in the irony that is life, I now find myself playing Tau again.
There you go.
Which
Come back full circle.
I've come back full circle. Yeah. So, I mean, and I'm also excited too because their codex comes out in the spring. So I don't know what order necessarily, but sooner rather than
Right.
later. So we'll see.
Yeah, you're not like a guard player from the last edition.
Yeah.
You have
Well, I
like
mean,
a 6
at
month
least they
of-
made sure to prioritize the guard and world eater codexes after what they did to them. You know, at least they put them up in the printing order. Gave people discounts that had bought the previous books. At least they
Didn't
did
they
all
do
that.
that 1 year? One edition where they did that? Oh yes,
It
it was
was
from 7th to 8th.
7th to 8th when it would people just bought a book that was like it was like basically the 40K equivalent at the time of like DLC, and then 3 weeks later they announced the new edition, and then we're like, oh, we probably should.
Yes, because
It
it's
was
funny
trade-in.
because I remember that now because it was like up to a certain like within 6 months or something you could return your book for credit or whatever, but they wouldn't let you return the Fall Acadia books because that had more fluff than rules. Codexes you can return, but not the Fall Acadia series. I remember that now. But yeah, so Danny, how's your 40K year so far? You've been playing a lot of games too. You're actually in a league now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Like I always love a new edition. New editions are fun. Like it's fun testing stuff. I generally have fun playing, but I don't know. I've just especially the last like 4 or 5 months. I haven't really felt like, oh man, like that thrill of like new edition, everything's so cool. It's like it's still kind of samey,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, I'm I don't know, I think maybe it's a personal thing, and it's just like I'm in a lull, and that happens, right? Like you're never gonna always always be in love with everything immediately all the time, but
All right.
it's fine. I mean, I've enjoyed playing. Uh, I I feel like I finally figured out World Eaters pretty well. I just don't have the models to make them work. I need a lot more berserkers.
I
So
told you
a
what you
couple more
need. You just
rhinos.
refuse to do it.
Shut your mouth.
You're just being
What,
stubborn.
baseline berserkers and rhinos?
No.
Yeah,
you need
baseline
to
berserkers and rhinos with masters of possession or masters of execution are
Master of
amazing.
execution.
Better not be
Yeah,
masters of possession
always
if you're
strikes
corn.
first.
They don't like them sorcerers.
That's very true.
They don't like that
Always
magic.
Strikes first, real good
Is
though.
Psyker? Well, considering what
Um,
the 8-bound are, you think they would have a Master of Possession.
Right. But yeah, it's so it's been fun. I enjoy playing. I just wish again. I think what hurts is melee is just even worse than it has been. Like it's
Mhm.
good for positioning. It's always going to be a necessary part of the game, but only for very specific units in very specific ways. And then monsters suck. Like being able to be
Yeah.
shot in combat, not being able to lock things up and hide. It's just like, cool. I love big monsters of all varieties, and they're just not as good because they can't fight. I mean, they can't shoot. They don't hit hard enough to really make up for the fact that like, oh, cool, I'm still going to get shot next turn.
Yeah.
They're not resilient enough against the real things that are out there for them to be able to take that damage. So it's just like, and again, as a person who loves Monster Mash, it's just kind of hard where like the Bellacor's, the Bellacor's big booty boys, like that list is fun because you can kind of stop from being alpha struck, but then once you get stuck in, it's like, well, I'm still gonna die, right? Because it's like there's no protection in melee. So I don't know. I think that's really what has kind of cooled my enthusiasm for the game a bit. It's just because like I like Big Monster, and this is not a good addition for Big Monster at all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm having the same issue in regards to like enthusiasm for the game. It's not that much different from ninth, but it's different enough where you got to really pay attention to some things. But going from 8th to 9th, I didn't have the same lull in my enthusiasm. But for some reason, from 9th to 10th, it's just, I don't know. I haven't played. I played a few games, but I haven't played in the league all year, and it just doesn't like. And I know chaos is strong, but it just does not get me revved up for the game to play. Judging is different because judging is a whole different way to look at the game as opposed to
A different high.
playing. Yeah. I mean, it could be because I travel so much and I judge, so you kind of like, maybe I'm just burnt out on playing because I have to judge all these things. But even last year, I was, during ninth, I was still playing, even though I was judging all the same events. So maybe I just need to wait for the new Chaos Codex and see what. But I'm like Danny, where I played more melee heavy armies. I'm not used to having to shoot. Could be that too. Because right now a vehicle heavy Chaos Space Marine list is pretty good. So.
Iron within, baby.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I got my little guys to play with. So right now, I just need to finish putting all the vehicles together and putting finish painting the models because they're all primed. I just need to paint them. But we'll see. We may just play a primed army on with Danny and see how much that goes. So I'm hoping Chaos Space Marine, which I believe is spring, right, or like late winter. I think. I don't remember.
I think it's
basically
winter.
early, but it's probably So it's like early next year.
I think so. Yeah.
Chaos Space Marine. I think Dark Angels. I don't have a look at the roadmap, but those come out next year. So early next year. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping that will help reignite my enthusiasm for 40K. So I am looking forward to that, especially as we get closer to it. I could see what they plan to do with Chaos, because if you saw with the Space Marine Codex, all their detachments are based off of other chapters, but anybody can use them. So like someone was playing Ultramarines, but they're using the Raven Guard specific one. So I forget what it's called, but and Danny was telling John about the Space Wolf army using the one that's normally used that's kind of like White Scar specific because it lets you advance and charge, things like that. So I'm curious what the Chaos ones are going to look like. And apparently not everybody's getting the same amount of detachments because I think Necrons or Admech only got like 5, where Space Marines got like 6 or 7. So that's not equal to everybody. So we'll see how many.
I mean, I just
Chaos Space Marines
would have rather the Necron range be in stock when the book came out.
And as for Space Marines, 6 or 7 times a negative is still a negative.
Right. Like
that's really for anybody. Even with the Epic release we talked about. I mean,
yeah.
I was asking for like I think 5 or 6 things, and you can only able to get me like
no, like
1.
seriously, I don't care if I get new units or not in the book. Like literally, just have the stuff in stock. So when I see, oh hey, this thing's good, I don't own that. I'd like that. I can buy it instead of that thing seems good. I don't own it. Oh look, it's been sold out for 6 months, and God knows when it's going to be in stock.
Yeah.
Here I go 3D printing again.
I'm not going to 3D print a damn monolith. I mean, come on. At that point, it's just as expensive as the model itself. A model's $185, and I don't care. 3D print bros in the comments, shut up. Nobody cares. You're wrong. You've been wrong the whole time. Nobody cares about your fuzzy math. It doesn't work out. Cool. Look, if it's so cheap, print me one for free and send it to me.
Whoa. Now you're talking shipping costs.
Look, I'm just saying.
No.
Print me a monolith for if it's so cheap. If it's so much better and so cheap, print me 2 because I know I want to. Print me 2 monoliths for free and send them to me.
John's currently playing 4D chess with anyone who might listen to this and pick him up on this challenge. He's doing reverse psychology, knowing that even if it doesn't work, he still has his rant to fall back on.
Look, I am either right or I have 2 monoliths.
I mean, that's actually a very eloquent way of putting it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I don't know what goes into the decision making.
Stop putting out books if you don't have product. That's what I would like to see.
Oh, they have plenty of books.
Stop!
Like,
No,
the rule
no,
book for
literally.
Epic they have.
Stop putting out new codexes if you
Oh.
cannot have the product. Like, stop putting out. Like, do not put out the next whatever codex. I don't know what's up next. I haven't paid attention to what the next thing is because I was like excited about Necrons. But then I can't get the stuff I want. Like, stop putting stuff out if you don't have the full range in stock.
Yeah, I don't know at what point. I never really paid attention. I don't think nobody has. At what point did they start like putting something out every week?
It was some point
You know what I
in
mean?
8th or 9th. Like, that's when it... Yeah.
It was like, it was early 8th. Like, that was like the transition when they kind of came back into the world of like, we're going to start having more stuff, right? Like, no more waiting, 8 years for a release.
Well, I just mean in general. I mean, you don't, because remember, anything they put for Sigmar or Warcry or even Legion Imperialis takes up that space or time from printing or making other stuff that's not in stock.
Right.
Because they're making new stuff. Though that's what I mean. Remember the day, and we complain about it, but there was a time where you got maybe if you're lucky, 2 releases in a month. Big releases.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like every week there's a bunch of plastic models coming out. It's very rare when they only have like, it's all Black Library stuff, so nobody's going to care about it. It doesn't happen very often. There's a couple times during COVID where they stopped taking orders or stopped with anything for like 2 weeks, I think it was, so they could catch up. But I think this constant churning of product might be hurting them. Maybe. I don't know. What do I know? I'm not a $1 billion company, so.
I mean, I'm sure it's not hurting the bottom line,
And they
or
just
otherwise
hit
they wouldn't do it.
12% increase.
Right.
in profit,
However,
so they're making money.
It's really annoying to have a codex come out and half the range be sold out.
Yeah.
Like, it's super
why.
annoying.
I mean, I know why, but it's probably because warehouse space that they don't want to have like stock on hand, or a lot of stock on hand, I should say.
John, I think what this means is that you just need to make the DJ Khaled suffering from success meme about GW.
Yeah.
Sell them codexes at $60 a pop, but you can't sell models because you don't make them anymore.
Right. Like, how many monoliths would they be
the,
selling right now? Monoliths are going to be good. Like, even people on Reddit who don't understand the game are talking about monoliths being good.
I mean, I'm just going to start saying it to random people now because you're telling me it.
Yeah.
With zero context.
Yeah. What we should do is tell all the people on Reddit that the things that are in stock are good, so they buy them all up, because then GW will produce other things, and not the things that are out of stock.
Can't argue
You
with
think
that
it
logic.
worked like that? But I don't think it worked like that.
I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works. I just know how the rules work and judging the game works. I don't know anything about anything else.
Wow. And this is a problem that's been going on for literally years now, not just like a recent problem. So they know about it. I don't know how much they care about it. But trying to see if yeah, so so yeah, for me 40K has not been that good of a year in terms of just playing, but I mean, I started judging more events. I was able to go to Depticon this year, so, and then almost all of the FLG events. But next year, this coming year, I'll be at all the FLG events except for Cruise Hammer. So, and then we have the Champions Cup, which should be exciting. And I believe I think that's enough for today. I think the main thing was LVO and just getting the information out there to everybody. But we'll talk about it more again. But I think that's it for tonight. Unless you guys have anything you want to discuss.
Real quick.
No.
Uh-oh.
This is a test model of just a quick.
Oh, let me turn the camera on you.
These guys kind of painted.
Okay, there you go.
Tell me what you think. I mean, it's not based, but
Is that a Biovore?
Oh,
Yep.
that's
Damn,
pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, you even got your scheme in there.
Yeah, of course.
Mini
That looks
nids.
like the rest of mine. Probably do a quick dry brush
Now you're
over
gonna
the
make me go
bone.
on eBay and look.
Yeah,
to
that could
see
work.
how much-
Itty bitty nids.
Itty bitty nids. Nice.
I would like some mini crons. Not really. I just want to say the word. I don't actually want that.
You just want to say mini cron?
I would just like them to produce regular crons, please.
Well, we'll see. We'll play. I'll try to see how much I can get done this weekend before Tuesday.
I don't even have the rule book yet, so I don't know. So unless someone sends me
Neat
rules.
rules. We're fine.
Roll dice, have fun, or whatever it is you say.
Yeah,
Make pew pew noises.
it should be fine.
Pew pew. All right, so my Darth Vader is going to come
Can
in.
you just do a quick 1,000 points? Yeah.
My Darth Vader plays as Ferris Manus.
Get his head chipped off. So I don't think anything else. I think that's it for tonight. Danny, any last words for the end of the year?
Play even more games and be even nicer to people right now.
What?
And Old World, baby. Old World 2024.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
yeah. Let's lock in. Let's lock in.
I thought we were going to
Every
make it
time
the
I see the rules
entire
drop for
episode
those, I'm
without
like,
you
oh
mentioning
my
Old World.
God. No.
I'm just gonna play Epic
Old
Old
I
World
remember this.
instead.
I remember this. This was great. This was the glory days. This is when life made sense. I know these rules.
Yeah, when I could pick up a demon corn army and almost win an entire league and make you rage quit a game.
I think
Not
it's
even
I
knowing
think
what
they're
I'm
basing
doing.
It off of,
It's the
I think
best.
they're basing it off sixth edition.
I think that was that was 7th when I did
No,
that.
you were thinking of 7th, but I think
I was thinking
6th
7th.
edition is the one everyone likes. And I think that's what they're basing this latest edition on. I'm not 100% sure.
Why? Are you sure people like
Why
that
would I-
edition?
6 was the best edition by far.
I've seen.
Is it
Well,
because
not
the
to say that
magic
edition, but-
system is the best? I always hear in fantasy realms that if you talking about the magic system,
Yeah, never mind. No, it's because the movement was great. Movement was great. Combat made sense. There wasn't stupid steadfast. The magic was good, but not like insanely overpowered.
what was steadfast?
So that was the rule that they added, where basically, if you had more ranks than your opponent, you didn't suffer morale penalties for combat resolution.
Right, and then they had the zombies, which everybody had to use dice because they had a bajillion zombies behind their ranks.
Yeah, it just made certain armies like stupid, where it's, especially if you
Yeah.
wanted to play like stronger elite units, like they never would break, because how you usually wiped units out was not killing them all, is you made them run and then you ran them down, and then
Yeah.
suddenly you basically couldn't do that anymore. So
Right.
that was stupid.
But that was what 7th and 8th, right? Wasn't that from? Apparently, there's a shit ton of universal rules in the game in fantasy. So
Huh. Universal special rules, huh? You don't say.
all right, well, play nicer, I guess, is Danny's mantra for next year. Tom, you only made half the shows, more or less. What's your final thoughts on the year?
No. He didn't make half the shows. Dumbledore came in at the end and awarded Gryffindor a whole 50% more points to make it entirely even.
You mean Hufflepuff? Tom is no way Gryffindor.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Tom is Hufflepuff.
It doesn't matter. Dumbledore still came in and put his hand down on the scale.
When I'm
How
at my
life works.
best, I'm Ravenclaw. When I'm at my normal, I'm Hufflepuff probably.
I'm just always Slytherin. It doesn't matter.
I could be mean and be like, "Nah, you a muggle."
I would rather be a Muggle than a Hufflepuff.
Wow.
I just imagine them as people who are
Now
just
we're doing-
constantly high. There's some like that really good wizard weed shit. Like everything's magic.
This is the finest
guys.
weed in the South Farthing.
Yeah. Old Bobby.
Now we're crossing
Yeah.
the streams.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the quoting.
I was gonna make a Puff the Magic Dragon reference, but probably should stop.
Nobody's
no,
gonna get that.
Honestly,
You're too old. Nobody's gonna get that.
Probably.
I was gonna try and make some joke involving don't do Sanguinala, do Festivus, but some 40k version of Festivus, and I couldn't think of a good pun. So yeah, I guess you're at the end of the year. I know that's why it didn't pan out. So I'm explaining how the joke failed because I want people to at least see my homework.
I don't need to see your work, Tom. It just makes me more depressed.
That's fair. But that's also why I do it. Yuletide's
So
greetings.
Tom, nothing else? Nothing? Try to make more shows next year?
That's definitely, yeah, that's my number one resolution, Adam. Of all the things in my life, that is number one.
Try to have less kids?
My editor is telling me I cannot comment on that.
Nah. That means number 83 is on the way.
Yes. Or soon to be. We'll see how New Year's goes. John.
Yeah. What?
Any thoughts on the year or thoughts on the new year?
Yeah. After reading some stuff on the internet, Krampus is coming for some of you kids. I swear to God. Krampus. I'm German. I can invoke that.
All right.
It's allowed. I read the pamphlet.
Yikes.
Yeah. It's right below a couple of way more important things.
Krampus is coming, and he's replacing all your models with Erebus.
Krampus is coming. He's taking all your models that are sold out in the GW store and he's shipping them to kids who don't have them.
Oh.
Good guy, Krampus.
Good guy Krampus. Hey, as long as I'm on Good Guy Krampus's list for some Necron monoliths, I'm happy.
There you go. Well, I believe that is it. My final thoughts. Actually, well, I hope to play more games next year. So if I play one, that would already probably be more than I played this year. I only played I think I played less than 5 games of at least 10th. So if I want to play more than that, so hopefully with the new codex that comes around. But that's it for this year. We'll see everybody. We'll try to be on the first week of the new year, which I believe is the 5th, the 4th. If not, then it'll be the week before LVO. Actually, we may do the week before LVO. That way we do the next episode right after.
Yeah. That's probably best.
Next show will be on the 11th. Fingers crossed, because I know everyone here will forget that we're doing a show on the 11th.
Of January?
Yes.
Wait, when's LVO?
The 18th.
Oh, okay. I'll be there, don't worry.
Show.
I promise.
Okay, for sure.
I'll show up.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm happy you're showing up. But thanks for everybody for listening over the course of the year, especially as because we transitioned from Twitch to YouTube. So thanks for everybody that found us through YouTube and for everybody that still listens. If you have not heard, we do have a Patreon. You just go to patreon.com and look up TFG Radio.
Okay, but I think we do need to discuss going back to Twitch real quick.
Why?
Because then we can just all sit here topless.
And
we wouldn't be breaking any rules anymore.
Yes, John, that was the barrier to our success, was the Twitch terms of service around nudity.
Yeah. In the hot tub, we should have a hot tub in our room, right, or whatever.
You know how many comments we got about wanting to see, Tom's blindingly white titties? Come on. There was a market that wanted it that we didn't deliver to, and I'm just saying.
I mean, if anyone wants to see these Christmas hams, all right.
We lost out on literally dozens of dollars. Dozens of Patreon dollars.
Dozens is very, very generous.
I mean, yeah, because I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. Ones. It doesn't have the same ring to it. Dozens is both pathetic, but also works. Whereas anything lower than that is so bad it doesn't even work. And then people just are like, "Wow, you guys are you're beyond pathetic." It's beyond pathetic if you can't say dozens. I'm familiar to multiples of 5. See, it doesn't work. I'm famous to tens. No,
check out the Patreon. Lately, we've had a couple of Danny's rants. I still have to put up a couple of stories, but that's the extra
I recorded
content.
a new rant. I just haven't sent it to you yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, excellent.
Danny's a ranting machine over there.
We await with bated breath.
Don't act like you listen to him.
I said we. I didn't say I was listening. I just said we await.
Royal.
I just like to see. I just like the little notification that it's been posted. I like that little notification that pops up on my phone. It tells me there's a new one, and then I never listen to it, but I get the little high of going, "Hey, look, I could do that if I wanted to."
Oh yeah. So I'll have a couple stories. If you happen to see me at LVO, I can tell you a couple stories also in person. It's a whole theatrics when I tell a story in person. But if you are at LVO, make sure to say hi to all of us, Tom in spirit. So
depending what time of the day it is at LVO, I might, I don't know if I have stories, but I might become a story. So that's always fun.
God,
it's true. It's true.
SoCal Danny may make appearance. So again, thank you everybody for listening. Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.